This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next hour, we're going to take a look at some very interesting issues, the insane Daryl Wayne and I. During the second part of our show, we're going to put ourselves into a capsule and relax. We'll find out more about that.
It sounds creepy. It sounds creepy.
It is, and I think I might be claustrophobic in one. It's actually going into a pot with water and you float. We'll find out more about that in about 30 minutes. Right now, we're going to talk with a good friend of ours here at Late Night Health and a good friend of mine, at least I think she is. Her name is Amy Summers, with an S, because I sometimes leave that S off at the end. Amy is the founder and president of Pitch Publicity. She's got decades of experience, which is, I mean, she's young. She only has a couple of decades, not like Daryl or me. But, she's also recently, about 2 years ago, launched Inisivox to help individuals improve a wide range of soft skills centered for the complexity of communications. And we're going to talk about a panel discussion that's happening starting in March. And I'm proud to say that Late Night Health is the media sponsor for this event. And that is, well, I'm going to let Amy tell us what it is. Amy, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me, and thanks for participating with this series with us.
As I've told you, anything you want us to do, we will do. There's no question about it. We're going to be talking about identifying the elephant in the room regarding sexism, specifically in the nutraceutical industry. But you and I were talking yesterday, it's not just in the nutraceutical industry, it's rampant throughout all industries, isn't it?
It is. I mean, sexism is everywhere. It's in politics, it's in sports, it's in entertainment, it's in the media industry, it's in the PR industry. So it's just been really heavy on my heart to address it in an industry that I've worked in since I started Pitch Publicity. So I've had my business for 20 years. I'm a female founder, and I started my company when I was 27. So at this point in my career, I just feel like, I've seen a lot. I've had to maneuver a lot of things, as other people and women have too. And I just think that at this point in my career, it's really important that I impart some information along with some others who have also had experiences, so that we can help that next generation that's coming up through the ranks. So maybe they don't have to struggle as much.
Have you personally had sexism directed at you? Have you not been promoted? Have you been downplayed because you're a woman by a male boss?
Well, since I've owned my own company, fortunately, I've been at the top of my own game for quite a long time. So on that front, as far as being promoted, that's not really been an issue for me. But I think like other female founders like myself, we experience sexism in other ways. We may be dismissed more quickly than a man. I have definitely had some inappropriate offers in business settings. And I even once had someone tell me, this is around the time that Sex and the City was really popular, that TV series, that HBO TV series. One of the characters was a PR person. Her name was Samantha Jones.
Right.
And I once had a client ask me, well, aren't you supposed to do what Samantha Jones does? Well, on the HBO series, she did a lot of sex. So I was like, no, that's not what PR people do. So it's interesting. So I think that, and I see it now, you've seen me bring a lot of my interns along to conferences just as a learning experience. And I'm still surprised at how it'll happen right in front of me with them standing right there, to me, to them. So it's all different, varying levels. Sometimes it's very innocent, and by what I mean by that is I don't mean that innocent as in they shouldn't do it, but maybe they're not aware of it. And other times
That's something that I think a lot of men in particular don't realize, that you meet a woman and they're attractive. The man could be single, he could be married, he could be in a committed relationship. It doesn't matter. The brain, and by the way, I don't believe it matters if a person is gay, bisexual, any of the LGBTQ T areas. We see people differently, especially in our first meeting. And I think you're right. I think some of these could be innocent, but if we educated stupid guys, we'd be better. What do you think?
well, I don't want to call anyone stupid because I don't I don't think that anyone deserves a label like that. But I do agree that education is key, and that's part of why I'm really excited about doing the seminar series, because it is based in education and communication, which is one of the things that I am most passionate about, is communicating. And something that a lot of us women do when these things happen, it might seem like, well, it wasn't that bad. And you'll hear that comment a lot, like it's not that bad that it happened. But a lot of those not so bad scenarios can really add up to being pretty bad. So as you said, sometimes it's a little bit of an ignorance thing. They don't even, a person may not even realize that they've said something inappropriate or behaved inappropriately. And I think that in order to change it, you have to call it out a little bit. It doesn't have to be in a rude way, but more in a, hey, this wasn't really an appropriate way for you to refer to me, and here's why. And that's the only way we're going to learn. And I think when most people hear that, they would change their ways, because of course most people are not out to offend everybody.
I agree, and I think that one of the things is that I'm a huggy person. Well, when I see you and I hug and say hi. But is that appropriate in business? Am I doing something wrong? I'm not sure.
Well, I think especially in today's world, we should always ask. So I'm from the South, so I'm used to that environment where people are very cordial and touchy and feely, but not everybody is from a background where that is customary. So it's really important that you ask. And I think when COVID happened, I think the great thing about COVID is that when nobody wanted to touch each other because they were afraid of touching something, we started asking. So I think it is appropriate to ask, because some people may not be comfortable with that, and we just don't know what their level of comfort is. And it doesn't hurt to ask, because then you're never going to be in the wrong.
We're gonna take a time out, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation. But if somebody is interested in finding out about identifying the elephant in the room, where should we go? Where can we go?
So to register, you can go to anisivox.vfairs.com, or if that's too much to remember, you can just go to anisivox.com, and the button that's at the top of the page to register, that's INICIVX.com.
And that's not only hard to say, it's hard to spell. Anisivox.com is the place. Our guest is Amy Summers from Pitch Publicity in New York City. And we're going to return in just a couple of moments as Late Night Health continues. Join us at latenighthealth.com. latenighthealth.com. And just some news. The other day I was exploring, and I found out that we are actually on Amazon Music. How about that? AmazonMusic.com. All right, don't go away as Late Night Health continues, and we turn it back to the insane Daryl Wayne. Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Allen. The show continues in a moment. If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
It's time to tackle a tough topic, one that affects us all. We're talking about sexism in the workplace. The award-winning Identifying the Elephant in the Room series is back and ready to tackle some complicated communications issues again. This spring, we're focusing on critical communication strategies in the face of sexism. Join us as we hear from professionals in the natural products industry who have valuable career lessons to share and real-world experience to discuss from all sides of the elephant. It's time to have an honest and open conversation about the impact of sexism in the workplace and how we can make it better for everyone. Identifying the Elephant in the Room series starts March 16th. Register today at inicibox.vfairs.com. That's INICIBOX.VFAIRS.com, and join the conversation to be part of the solution.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Daryl, before we're talking about sexism, have you ever noticed that in the workplace, in both radio as well as in your aerospace career?
In the media every day. Yeah, I mean, there's something that goes on in the world that says in the media business, whether it be radio, television, film, that people are much friendlier with each other without asking, which is inappropriate. And then you hear about, these casting couch and all the way through the
right.
Industry's been reeking of it for a long time. Not as much in radio, but certainly in film. But in the aerospace business, it was not tolerated whatsoever. We did a lot of training sessions to make sure people knew what it was, how to identify it, how to report it.
and set up hotlines where they could make calls anonymously if they wanted to try to put an end to situations that they saw. But yeah, it just seems like for a long time the media business has been given a free pass, and it's not right.
It's not. Well, we're going to try to educate people on that. We appreciate Amy Summers inviting us. I'm very pleased that she asked us to participate. Amy is the founder and president of Pitch Publicity, and she's the founder and creative behind the Identifying the Elephant in the Room award-winning series. Last year you did racism. This year you're doing sexism, and maybe next year we'll do ageism as we talk. I'm just promoting so I can continue to work with you. Let's talk about some of the panels and what's going to happen.
Sure. So the series starts on March 16th. It will be held every Thursday from 1 to 2 Eastern live. And so for 6 weeks, starting March 16th through April 20th, people who are registered can log into the platform and watch the series live. They can watch at any level of comfort that they are comfortable with. So they can log in with their name, they can ask questions anonymously. I think that this is really important so that we have, so that we're inviting anybody that wants to come at any level of learning that they're ready to learn about it. And not everybody is at the same stage. So we need to be aware of that and accept people at all different levels on this topic. They'll watch the live, and then immediately after, you will be hosting a discussion panel with some of the participants, which I'm really excited about. This is an addition. We didn't do this with the racism series that we did a few years ago, but it's one of the things that I identified as directing the racism one last time, that the panels were really good and strong, but we really wanted to talk about it afterwards. So I think having that After the Elephant session with you live on Late Night Health Radio immediately following will be great. And then that will air on your channels on social media. So anybody can watch those for free. You do not have to be registered to watch the After the Elephant session that you're hosting, Mark, with some of the participants that we're watching. However, I think that once people see it, they're going to wish that they were watching the series too. So it's good to go ahead and get registered. If you register now before March 15th, you get a discounted price on the series. And
I have to tell you that Amy is not going to be making money on this. This is a lost leader. I know it is. And the price is very reasonable, especially before March 15th, because you can get the entire series for $75.
Yeah, and I'll just throw this in there too. I mean, mainly I'm just trying to cover the cost for all the tech people I have to hire to pull this off. But think of it in this way, and this is the whole premise of Inisivox, the company that I started 3 years ago. My idea behind it was quick mentorship. So normally, if you're trying to get mentored by somebody or get advice, it takes years. It takes a lot of coffees and scheduling and lunches, and it's really expensive too over time, because you have to build trust with somebody and a rapport before they really start talking to you about personal things like, how do you handle, this situation at work if your boss did something inappropriate. I mean, that's not like a question that you're going to immediately ask somebody. So if you think of it like that, this is like binging on mentorship on some really hot topics that normally is hard to get out of somebody unless you have a deep relationship with them. And you're not going to just get it from one person. You're going to get it from 25 or 30 people by the time you're done with this.
And these are top thought leaders in the nutraceutical industry. And I think, again, it relates to any industry at all. I should ask you about Inisivox. It's not a word you invented, or is it?
Well, it kind of is. It's two Latin words I put together. So Inisi literally means to embark, launch an idea, and then vox is Latin for voice. So putting those two words together the ideas that we launch and embark and inspire ideas through our voice. And I think that that's something that's lacking in our universities and schools. We do a lot of book work, we read, we write, but we're not communicating with each other. And so within EasyVox, I wanted to create a platform that people could really strengthen their communication skills.
In radio, TV, film, in broadcasting in general, and I don't know because I haven't been involved in publicity all that much, but it's a competitive field. And to find a mentor, I wish I had found Daryl 40 years ago, because he is the nicest guy in broadcasting. He's known for that. And you don't find that often. He's smiling. You don't find that often because a lot of times people will see somebody who really has a lot of skills, but they don't promote them because they're afraid they're going to take their job. Is that competitiveness still in the industry?
I think that, there's always going to be a little bit of that, and it is hard to find a mentor. I didn't have a mentor for my career, but I spend a lot of time mentoring other young professionals, and I'm intentional about it. And I think that one of the problems with mentorship is that there's not really a system for it. So it's either luck of the draw, you just happen to run across someone and they're going to take you under their wing, or you're striving to find someone all the time. And it is very hard to find someone that's going to kind of show you the ropes.
In the next couple of weeks, I think starting on March 8th, Amy and I are going to be hosting at Natural Products Expo West in Anaheim, California. We're going to be hosting a series of interviews promoting this series, talking about this series. And I'm really excited about doing that because we're going to meet some really, really terrific people to talk about sexism and find out about their careers. I have to mention one other thing about Amy, and that is that she mentors a lot of people. We have a lot of interns. I call them interns. I think you call them mentees. And they're all so good. They really are terrific. And they're both men and women. And I think that's really terrific as well. What do you think will be the final outcome? Because you have some really great partners in this, including the people behind Expo West and Supply Side East, supporting your efforts.
Yeah, I really want to thank Naturally Proud Network and Naturally Network for coming on as partners with us, along with you, Mark, with Late Night Health, for really seeing the potential in this series and enthusiastically wanting to jump on board and address and support this content and this conversation. And then also Supply Side East and Forma has been really good about allowing us to do a in-person event workshop at Supply Side East on April 19th, and anyone can attend that as long as they're attending Supply Side East. And we're going to really put some of these learnings into action. It'll be a networking workshop to just role play and learn how to network with people with an appropriate approach.
Right. Hey, listen, Amy, thank you very much. Again, if you want information, I'm going to give you the short version, and that's inicivox.com, inicivox.com, inicivox.com. Amy, we're going to have another interview. Maybe we can get one of the other sponsors, Naturally Proud or Naturally New York Network, to join us in a couple of weeks. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Don't you dare go away. More coming up as Late Night Health continues.